And we are live. Hello, I'm Adam. This is Highly Articulated. And today we are going to talk about my most anticipated releases coming up in 2024. Hopefully, you guys can see me okay and hear me okay because I have a brand new setup. If you watched my collection tour that I put out a couple days ago, you saw that I was using an iPhone and a 10-year-old laptop with stains and all on top of it. My wife watched it and was like, "You couldn't have at least cleaned the laptop before you put it in the video?" No, because I wanted it to be an authentic reflection of what my office looked like. However, that was last year. That's in the past. My setup now is completely different. I'm looking at a proper microphone. I got a proper microphone, proper camera, two screens. I got StreamYard on one screen. I got the sort of stuff that I'm going to show you on the other screen. We're moving up. So let's get right into it. Let's see. Star is here. Star, good to have you. Always good to have you. Miss you when you're not around as well. So Samrock is here as well, saying hello. So let's get right into it, shall we? I'm not entirely sure how many people are gonna, be hanging out and watching. It is Monday. I mean, some people get the day off, other people don't. So whether you're watching live, whether you're in the chat, whether you're just lurking behind the scenes, or whether you're watching this on replay, I just wanted to start 2024 off by sort of going over a bunch of the stuff that I'm excited to see. Stuff that I have on pre-order that I'm waiting to get, in hand. Stuff that that I'm anticipating will very likely be on my best of 2024 list. So, let's get right into it. First of all, GI Joe classified line, we had 50 some odd releases, or maybe even over 60 releases this past year. I'm very much hoping that that isn't going to be the case this year. That being said, I anticipate that there is going to still be a lot of releases from the GI Joe classified line. Most of mine, what's going on here? There we go. Oh, why isn't it sharing this? Let's try this again. Wait. All right, why won't it share my screen? Let me try this again. Okay, two screens doesn't want to work with me. What's going on here? Let's share screen. Any minute now. Okay, here we go. Maybe. It keeps telling me that I am doing it, but it's not there. Mm, bear with me. This is making for a very exciting episode, isn't it? All right, I think something's frozen on my end, but I'll try to kind of talk my way through it and sort of keep rolling. Um, because for whatever reason, it says that I'm sharing my screen, but I'm not seeing my screen shared. So I don't know. There it is. You guys see that? Um, all right. Well, that seems to be working. That seems to be working. Let me know in the comments if you can see that screen. So this is the eCollectibles website. This is where I buy, all my Joe stuff. So I thought, why not show this? But there's so many new releases coming up in 2024, and this is just going to be, the first bit of it. This is like the first offering. You get the 60th anniversary stuff. You've got Airborne, the retro stuff. Technoviper I'm really excited for. And then you've got Big Bow and Quick Kick, which make a great combo. Mutton Junkyard. I think Mike from eCollectibles was saying that Mutton Junkyard should be arriving in the warehouse um, this week or next week. So I'm pretty excited about that. Um, Now, Mike, you're in the chat here. Mike says, "Nice hat." Well, it is a very nice hat. My Knights of the North eCollectibles hat. I can't wait for version 2 of this hat. I'm kind of hoping that that's going to make it into the next shipment. But I'll chat with you about that after. Um, yeah. So classified series is a line that as many of you know, I'm very very into. I'm not a completist. I don't have to have everything. But there's so many great figures right at the tail end of the year, and then a whole bunch of great figures coming for 2024 as well. As far as what we've already gotten, and sort of what is going to be available very very soon. There's just so much cool stuff, and I, for one, am very very excited for what's to come. I'm getting this weird lag between what I try to do and what is going on the screen, which is frustrating the heck out of me. Doesn't seem to be doing the same thing on the other. Let me see if I can do something about that, because it seems to be one of my screens and not the other screen, which is new to me. And let me see if I switch them, if it fixes it. Let's see. Let's see. Ray says internet slow. No, it's not the internet. It's like for some reason one of the screens is slower than the other screen as far as like responding to me clicking comments and things like that, which is just so weird. And I genuinely don't know why it would do that or how it would fix that. But anyway, um, such is life. And I should be able to just move past that. I'm just adjusting some windows here. Growing pains. Like I said, I got the new setup, so yeah, as I said, just really, really excited to be getting all these great things from ecollectibles.ca. There's a few other things that are coming up from classified that sadly aren't available through Mike at eCollectibles at this point. Now they may be a little bit later, but a couple that I am most excited about. We will see if this thing decides to show you what I'm looking at, because I've asked it to. Um, I've asked it to show you what I'm looking at, but I'm just looking at this on my own apparently. Uh, because, like I said, I mean everything's working, right? Everything seems to be working, but not working. Here, let me try this again from this screen. It's frustrating, that's for sure, because when you kind of plan what you're gonna say around what you guys are gonna see, it doesn't help that you can't see it. Um, so yeah. Whatever. I'll just talk through it. Well, I'll just talk about what I'm looking at, and that'll be how it goes. Um, so two of the things that I'm most excited about are Clutch with the Vamp as well as the HasLab Dragonfly, both of which should be 2024 releases. I would be shocked if they weren't. To be perfectly honest, I think what no. Now it's giving me prompts. Now it's asking me if I want to share. Yeah, I do want to share. I already told you that I wanted to share. Um, and now everything's going funky. I think it's a StreamYard issue. I don't think it's an issue with internet speed at all. Which is why it's a pain in the butt. What I'm gonna actually do while I'm chatting is I'm gonna open another window. I'm gonna open StreamYard again and see if I can't just open StreamYard again and like reset it basically. But Clutch with the Vamp is probably, I mean, the Vamp is my absolute favorite GI Joe vehicle, and to get it in a classified scale is something that I'm very very excited about. Um, yeah, and I'm trying to get into StreamYard here, and it's telling me that it's unresponsive. So that's tells you what my problem is. It's not an internet problem. It's a StreamYard problem. Um, but the Vamp is my favorite GI Joe vehicle, so I'm very very excited to grab that. Um, Now I'm joining myself in the stream. What is going on here? Oh, this is frustrating. Okay. But okay, man, this is brutal. Okay. The Vamp. Yeah, very excited about the Vamp. The other thing with the Vamp is that it means that there's very, very, very strong possibility that we would get a Stinger. There's a very strong possibility that we could get a Vamp Mark II, Tiger Sting, which is the Tiger Force Vamp. I didn't I didn't go for like the Tiger Force Ram that came with Duke. The Tiger Force doesn't interest me as much. However, as a kid, I had that Tiger Force Vamp and absolutely loved it. And I think that Tiger Force Deco works better on that on the Vamp than it did on the Ram, or at least I think it would. And so that would be something that I would definitely consider picking up. And then the Dragonfly. The Dragonfly, like a big old helicopter. You get Wild Bill, you get Night Force Ripcord, Night Force Crazy Legs, Glenda. So really, really cool releases there as well, which is pretty fun and pretty cool. Um, Before I move on, let me just very quickly jump in the chat and see what's going on, what you guys are saying as I'm rambling on and absolutely botching this episode. Let me see if it'll even let me bring up comments. Brian Brink says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. My wife and Star just having a chat. Game Quest said Mutton Junkyard came out great. Would easily make my top 5 GI Joe classified 2023 list. I didn't get it in 2023, which I'm actually kind of grateful for. There was so much great stuff in 2023 that I'm sort of glad that I'm not going to get some things until 2024, so I have proper time to hang out with them and decide whether or not they're going to make it onto my 2024 list. Jay Wright is hanging out as well. Says Happy New Year to everybody. Amanda says we should have done a test run. Well, I did. I mean, apart from two screens, but it's not that. Like I said, it's a StreamYard issue, and it seems to be working better. At least the comments are working better. Um, and eCollectibles, Mike says Happy New Year. Um, Ray says Clutch is coming around March, I believe. Yeah, that's what I heard as well, and that's certainly what I hope. I could see it being even sooner than that. I think I saw that there was a report on some shipping manifests that containers containing Clutch and the Vamp were actually showing up stateside already. Jay asked, "Did you open all the figures that came with the Hiss tank? If you could send me the Cobra Commander, that would be great." I didn't open them all up because I sold off some of the extra figures to recoup some of the cost. I don't have any Cobra Commanders left. I had the two and I sold them both. So, Star says this is more intimate. Years from now, we can say that we were all here for the birth of a new highly articulated. Yeah, it's a messy birth. That's for sure. Billionaire says the Hiss is so good in hand. It really is. It really is. And when I was sort of going through all of the features, the light up stuff and like all the weapons, I didn't real like I was hoping and I was sort of anticipating that the missiles would be removable, and they are, which I think is really really cool because it's gonna mean that I want to build like a missile rack, and then you can have it so that you could kind of set it up dio wise and sort of play feature wise, where the Hiss becomes a little bit more interactive. You can have your Technovipers, loading missiles onto the missile racks and stuff like that. Um, if you don't know what I'm talking about, these missiles that are on the side of the Hiss are all removable, and there's like 6 per side, so you get 12 of these removable missiles, and they have ports in the back. So what I'm hoping is that the ports in the back of these match the ports in the Dragonfly missiles, and then you can use those blast effects. You see where I'm going with this, to sort of make your Hiss tank a little bit more fun, more exciting. Um, Not that it's not fun and exciting. It's awesome. The working treads, like all of it, is just so cool, and I can't wait till the weather warms up a little bit more to get these things outside and play with them. So, Billionaire says Dragonfly gonna be crazy. Yes, it sure is. Um, yes, I'm a true professional. Oh man, am I ever? AI says I'm scared of where I'm going to put the Dragonfly. Going to have to hang it from the ceiling. Yes, I have one. I measured it today when I was sort of prepping for this video. I measured to make sure that the Dragonfly was going to fit on the shelf where I want to put it, and it will. So that's the good news. Um, let's see. Tristan McDonald's here. What's going on, Tristan? AI, Mutton Junkyard is a beauty. Got him in Mezco Roadblock last week, and they're both hits. Let's see. Silver K is here as well. I don't think I pulled up any of Kayla's comments. Tristan, still waiting on a shipping notice for my Hiss. That sucks, man. That really sucks. But rest assured, it's awesome, and you're going to be excited when you get it. It's worth the wait. It's definitely worth the wait. Allison Troy is here. Welcome, Allison Troy, to the party. I don't know. Eddie's here. What's going on, Eddie? It is truly the golden age, as you like to call it. Let me see if I can get this to work. Let me see if it is working now. Is StreamYard feeling like it wants to keep up or not? Not. Okay, good. So it still won't let me share my screen. So I'm still just going to look at my screen and tell you what I'm looking at and tell you how excited I am to get these things. At least I got the eCollectibles page up before because now I'm looking at the eCollectibles page again. And in this case, I am looking at the SH Figure Arts, and I wonder, I'm going to try it one more time because I wonder if it was just because I was trying to do Google Slides. Um, nope, still sucking. StreamYard still sucking. But that's okay. Some new SH Figure Arts releases from Dragon Ball. Jay, I know, is excited. Jay, you're gonna be over the moon when you see the stuff that I get from Dragon Ball. Just kidding. Jay hates Dragon Ball. But the one that I'm probably most excited about, you know what? There's multiples. The Super Saiyan armored trunks is one that I'm really really excited about. The Kid Goku from Dragon Ball GT. Jay, you don't like Dragon Ball Z, but there's a Kid Goku from GT, which looks to be going to be a really really cool figure that I'm really really excited about. There's a new Kid Gohan with a soft goods cape. I'm really curious to see how SH Figure Arts is going to sort of integrate the plastic capes with the soft good capes. It it looks weird, but their plastic capes, the way that they've done their plastic capes in the past, I don't love them because they're not really posable. They're just sort of in the way and they're kind of chunky in bulk. So the soft goods cape at least will make it more playable, more posable, stuff like that. But I'm really really curious to see how that thing is gonna work. Um, if it's gonna work at all. Um, or whether the sort of plastic bit that they keep on it, is going to interfere with the posability of the wire cape. But the pictures look pretty cool, and I'm optimistic as as always. Um, Game Quest says I'll petition. What did Jay say? Jay said something about Cobra Commander. Oh, Jay said let's get hooded Cobra Commander. Um, okay, I see what's good. So Star said no Cobra Commanders. I have Cobra Commanders. I think the classified version, the updated classified version of Cobra Commander is way better than the one that came with the his tank. Which is why I sold that version off. Jay saying, let's get a hooded Cobra Commander. I've seen a lot of people like 3D printing that head and just painting it up, and it looks fantastic. I don't think it's I don't think it's a bad looking option. But that being said, I think a hooded Cobra Commander would be pretty awesome, especially if they could do it with sort of like if they could use the soft rubber that they use for the secondaries as like an overlay over the head so that it kind of would move and flex a little bit. That would be amazing. I definitely want that. If we don't get it, I'm okay with that. Um, I don't need it. Because like I said, the version that we've gotten so far are pretty darn good. Ray Paz, do you guys have eel, snow serpents, and range vipers up there? Yes, yes, and yes. However, the eels have been a headache for Canadian collectors. I ordered my eels from Amazon.com. Amazon.ca, I don't believe has delivered a single eel. I think they've canceled everybody's orders. So, um, so that's so the eels. Yeah, StreamYard's giving me messages that I already know. It's like, oh, we can't capture your screen. Yeah, I know that. You're blowing it, and now you're telling me 5 minutes later. Great work. No, but I have eels. I got them from Amazon.com. My snow serpents I got from eCollectibles. Range vipers I was lucky enough to get from Walmart.ca. I put my order in right away. Mine shipped. I know a lot of people have gotten orders canceled. People are getting orders canceled for the range vipers. People are getting their orders canceled for Shadow Tracker and other things as well. But as far as like readily available, I don't think any of those are readily available at the moment. Right past, I'm trying to figure out how I can get my hands on those army builder figures. Yeah, the weird thing is with the eel. So the eel went up on Amazon.com, and the really what I think might be involved in terms of people not being able to get theirs and Amazon.ca not being able to even get their shipment is that I have a sneaking suspicion that there are people who were hold on, let me just quickly change something. Where is it? Wanted to change a setting, but I don't want to change the setting. Growing pains. Thank you for being here with me. This is fun. I'm having fun. I'm not frustrated at all. The eels on Amazon.com, there was no limit to how many you could order. And I literally kind of I went back and forth. I ordered 3 for myself because I build squads of 3 typically. And I got 3 and they shipped. But what I think might have happened is there's probably people that ordered 300. And so there's probably people that are sitting on eels trying to sell them for a profit, because that's a thing that happens. It's a thing that exists, which is unfortunate, but I think maybe that's what happened there. However, eels, there's going to be a retro carded eel coming. I can guarantee it if it's not even been announced yet. But like, I mean, if they're leaning into these retro cards as not being exclusive to anyone anymore, I think that's going to be the easiest way to get it. I believe Snow Serpent has been announced as a retro carded figure, so that's a no brainer. I mean, you should be able to get one that way. If they don't, come back in stock, wherever you may be. The Range Viper is a weird one because that's Walmart. Walmart is like notoriously bad with their distribution, even worse than Target or Amazon, in my opinion. But we'll see. Everything has kind of come around. Everything has come back, as far as I know. I don't think there's any figure that was like really that impossible to get. If you're kind of timing it right, if you're paying attention and you're able to sort of get an order in sooner rather than later. But most of them, it's not been like seconds, it's been hours. So um Star says, how many sub stories or lines or branches are there to Dragon Ball? I can't keep them all straight. There's not that many, to be honest. There's basically one continuity. There's like Dragon Ball is the first series. It just leads into Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z used to kind of lean or lead into Dragon Ball GT. GT became sort of not canon. Dragon Ball Super became the sequel to Dragon Ball Z. And then I think they kind of brought GT back and said that GT is an alternate universe. So it's canon again, but it's not part of the normal universe. And then there's a new one called I think it's called Daima coming out, which I think fits somewhere in there. But the manga, like, so Dragon Ball Super's manga is still ongoing. It's still like the storyline. There's still continuity in the storyline. Basically there's one, but there's sort of different times. I don't know if you're familiar with Naruto, but it's sort of like Naruto and then Naruto's second series, which is like the Shippuden one. So it's like Kid Naruto learning to become a ninja, and then Naruto as a ninja. Dragon Ball kind of works the same way. You've got Kid Goku, who becomes, the Super Saiyan Goku, and then that's who we still have. So, um, let's see. And I'm falling behind, so let me see if I can catch up a little bit. Um, do you think all the recent layoffs at Hasbro will have an effect on the G.I. Joe figure release schedule? No, none whatsoever. I don't. Um, I think it's, yeah, I don't think it's gonna change anything at all. Otherwise, I don't think that they would have laid those people off. Um, let's see. Let's see. Nolan is here. What's going on, Nolan? How are you, my friend? Good to have you hanging out. Um, let's see. Let's see. I'm skimming through to see if there's there's any uh Thanos Copy says, I want the super anime to come back. I think that it's not gonna be super, like they kind of said that super is done, but Daima is like a placeholder, and then they're gonna go back to um full size Dragon Ball characters. Daima is like chibi Dragon Ball, which I think looks really, really fun. And I'm actually really excited to see it. Um Dazatron's Diorama Llama is here. What's going on, my man? Happy to have you. Happy to be entertaining you all. Um, all right, moving on from the Dragon Ball SH figure arts, and now shifting into some less, less big names, less big brands. Moving more into the little guys, moving into more of the independent guys. StreamYard still doesn't want to play nice, which is fun. But the Heat Boys Mecha Ninja Turtles are going to continue to be released. There will be Michelangelo will be out sooner rather than later, and then on top of that, I think we are looking at Raphael maybe in 2024 as well. I think Michelangelo's been released internationally. It just hasn't really landed in a lot of places. I've seen a few people got it at the very tail end of the year in the last few weeks here, but there's no news this side of the border. Um, and then, but yeah, that's Mecha Leo is so good that it's I think I'll probably end up with all four turtles. I'm kind of thinking I'm looking at like if I can get one per year, then I'll be happy because they're big. I have a spot, I have a shelf that I can put them on. I've mapped it out. I know the shelf that they're gonna go on, but they're really, really big figures, and they're fun. They go really well with like Gundam stuff too. So everybody wondering where Brick is. I don't know. I don't know where Brick is. Hmm. Dazatron's Diorama Llama says, I do wish I picked up the previous Heat Boys TMNT. Um, the the non-mecha ones, is that the ones that you mean that they did a while ago? Those were really, really nice as well. Not really my thing. I mean, the mecha ones scratch a couple different itches for me, right? The fact that it's basically a Gundam is what sold me on it. Um, Dazatron's Diorama. How big are the Heat Boys? Um, how big is the brand? Like, how big is that brand? I don't think it's very big. I mean, they do the Ninja Turtle stuff. Um, they've got some Disney stuff. Like, they've got weird licenses, like really cool licenses. They're doing, and I just if I'm doing the turtles, I can't do these ones as well. But they're doing Samurai Pizza Cats, which was a cartoon that I absolutely loved when I was a kid. Um, they've only released the white, or they've only sort of revealed the white one so far. But I imagine they'll do, three or four in that line as well. Um, how big is the mecha toy? Well, let me show you. And I will say that not only is he really big, but he's really heavy. What do you want me to sort of compare him to? What line? Whether it's sort of Legends or Legions or AWOC, um, because that'll give you an idea of scale that I think if I just hold it up, you might not necessarily get. But Samrock, Heat Boy sounds like the name of a rap group. It really does. And there's a Japanese rap group called Teriyaki Boys, so that's it's not far off from that by any means. Um, Kirby Smith, the white one. You mean Speedy Cerviche? He's the leader of the bunch. Yes, he's the leader. I didn't know what his name was, to be perfectly honest. I completely forgot. I completely forgot what all of their names are. But they would be. I mean, they lend themselves really, really well to little articulated figures, especially if Heat Boys are doing them anything like these Mecha Turtles. I think that the articulation scheme on this thing is bonkers, and I think if you do a ninja, a samurai ninja pizza cat, that it should have similar articulation. But let's see. Michael Kage said, I know you're mostly out of 1/18 scale, but are you planning to pick up more Delta 17 figures in 2024? I'm on the fence with the Delta 17 stuff, and to be quite honest, that's not down to scale. That's down more to um like look and feel. Very, very proud of Ken and Steve for Delta 17. I got a couple figures in hand. I did my review, which is probably what you're sort of referencing there. And they're great figures. They really are great figures, but I'm already, you know, I'm already looking at my GI Joe O-ring vintage stuff and probably going to move it all in 2024 and just get rid of it. I'll hold on to like a few pieces, a few choice items, just for the sake of like nostalgia. And if I get rid of all of them, I know that I'll end up just picking a couple up at some point to sort of fill that void, so to speak. But I think I think I think for me, the O-ring sort of renaissance that's going on right now is really, really cool for people that are into that stuff. Um, and they're fantastic figures. Like I said, those Delta 17 figures are really great figures. They're like well designed, well executed. They feel great in hand. The accessories are so well designed and so well engineered to the point where like it took me a while to figure out how they all worked and how they all sort of interfaced with each other. But they're still O-ring figures, and they have a very different look and feel and vibe to what I'm kinda collecting. I am mostly out of 1/18 scale, but I'm sort of coming back into 1/18 scale because of something that I'll talk about, in a bit here. Um, but, yeah, uh, again, StreamYard. StreamYard's driving me crazy. Keeps sending me prompts and stuff. Um, but yeah, you can look that stuff up. Now so getting back to or should I nobody said what they wanted me to compare the size wise, this Leo 2 size wise, so I'll just pick something randomly off the shelf. What am I gonna pick off the shelf? I'm gonna pick Grunt off the shelf because he's at hand. So there's Grunt. Um One of my favorite figures of the year, but he's dwarfed by Mechaleo. Mechaleo is probably 10 inches tall, and this is plastic and feels pretty good. This thing is an absolute tank. This is heavy. My 4-year-old had a hard time picking this up. So it's a big boy and it's heavy. There's a lot of metal on the Heat Boys Ninja Turtles, like actual metal. His swords are metal. Let me get the swords out. He's got these swords, which are awesome. And can you hear this? They are metal swords. I don't know if it picked it up or not. And I don't know if it sounded that metal, but they are metal. They're heavier than they look. They're awesome. Leo's awesome. If you have the chance, pick up Leo. Um, okay. Let me see if I can do this. I drop it in here and it's connected. I'm going to try one more time. One more time. Because now they're in the same spot. You going to share it? Will it or won't it? It won't share it. Why won't it share it? It doesn't like me. Okay, well, sorry. No visuals. I'll continue to just talk about the things that I'm excited to get, and you guys will just have to hang out. Which is a bummer. Some of the stuff looks really, really cool. Like Jada Toys Chester Cheetah. So Jada, which everybody was making fun of me because I don't have any Jada Street Fighter figures. Jada will definitely be in my collection sooner rather than later. Because the Chester Cheetah I think is scheduled to arrive um, to Mike at eCollectibles very, very soon. And then as soon as he gets it, it will be coming my way. So I'm pretty excited to be getting that. The fact that he has, Cheetos dust on his fingers. You get alternate heads. You get the articulation that people are kind of raving about as far as Jada Toys goes. So I'm pretty excited about that guy. Um, and then yeah, Tristan's listing the samurai pizza kits names: Speedy Ceviche, Polyester, and Guido Anchovy. Okay, here's the thing. Dan Larson over at Toy Galaxy did a video on samurai pizza cats, and I'm pretty sure there's different names for them depending on which version of the show you got, because those names don't sound familiar to me, but I could be totally wrong. Um, Ray, did the stream freeze up for anybody? I wonder if it's freezing up when I try to share another screen, which is, but I'll try to figure that out. I think it's a temporary thing, and I think next time it'll probably work just fine. Dazzletron's Diorama Llama. DNA Toys have some nice offerings this year with Earthworm Jim and Mad Balls. Yeah, they've got some cool stuff. Is DNA Toys though associated with that company that kind of screwed a bunch of people over? I don't know, and I'm not a judgment call or anything like that. I just I know that that's come up. I think it's DNA Toys that people have sort of mentioned. So there's people that are sort of just keeping them at arm's length, and sort of only buying in store, like in stock. Like people aren't special ordering their product as a result of feeling as though they've been slighted, or they may be sort of ripped off, and that those guys may not deliver the figures as expected or whatever. So, I don't know. Um, trying to bring up another comment. Come on, StreamYard. Come on. Uh, all right, I'm just gonna read. Okay, now they're working. Are they working? Are they not working? Oh my goodness. Like I said, this is not an internet issue because all my other pages are working and everything's working. It's just StreamYard is just not working. Star says if Hasbro ever did Black Series Alien and Predator, I'd be so happy. Those would be cool. I don't think I would probably go for those. If they did Predators, like Hyatt does in a 4-inch scale, Hyatt does the active camo translucent Predators, which look pretty dope. And if I could figure out where to find them that wasn't Big Bad Toy Store, I might pick a couple up. But Big Bad Toy Store and I don't have a great relationship. Ray Paz, I love the Delta 17 villains. I hope he scales them up to 112. Yes, and that's so my understanding is that they have aspirations of doing Delta 17 and 112. And if they did, then I would probably be in because I can add them to my G.I. Joe shelf. In the O-ring stuff, Steve and Ken are both big O-ring guys. They're both still into vintage Joes and stuff like that, so it made sense for them. But the O-ring stuff for me, it's cool. It has a really cool nostalgic vibe while still being like really well designed and built and very modern feeling. Like they feel a lot nicer than vintage Joes do. But they feel as like if anybody has vintage Joes in hand, they feel durable and sort of similar to vintage Joes. But it's just not my just not it's just not what makes me excited, right? And so I got the two that I got, and I'm very happy to have them in my collection, and they will remain in my collection. But I might get one or two more, as time goes on. Things happen. Um, but it's not that's not something I'm necessarily going to be all in. So Ken's trying to compete with my stream. Is he on right now? What a little jerk. I'm gonna send him an angrily worded message. Um, let's see. Let me try to catch up, and then I will move into the next item that I'm excited for. Now I'm gonna work. Oh man, I wish I could share these visuals because when I get there, I'll sort of explain why I was excited for one of them. But let's see. Nathatron's diorama llama says on a different note, well done Canada and Mitchell Hooper on winning World's Strongest Man. Always watch on New Year's Day. I used to watch that when I was younger. It's the craziest thing. Sam Rock, I definitely want to pick up that Chester Cheetah. It is cool. Yes, it is very, very cool. Thanos is looking forward to the Jada Mega Man toys. And again, those look great. And all those Mega Man suits look fantastic. I just didn't play Mega Man. So it just doesn't make sense for me to pick up that line. I heard about now everyone's wondering what it looks like. Well, what I'm going to do, what I realized I can do is I can post links to the last couple things that I'm going to share, so that you guys can check them out if you want, if you got another page that you can open up or whatever. But yeah. Jay Wright says, now that I have the Blade Master, I might have to order the Twin Pandas. They look pretty cool. You get yin and yang. Let's see. Star, I need someone to teach me some limited Japanese. I want to petition Kyoto to do 1978 Alien and 1987 Predator in their amazing Yamaguchi line. They probably would understand an English message, to be honest. If if I know anything about the Japanese, it's that if they have a company that has international sales, they would have somebody that would be able to translate an email that you sent them. Kayla, since StreamYard's New Year's gift to you. Yeah, exactly. They're just blowing it. Jay Wright, I have the Monster Arts Predator. It's a killer figure. Tyler Lalonde, I can't wait for Epic Jack. What is Epic Jack? I don't know what that is. But now I'm curious. Let's see. Thanos says Ken's competing right now with live streams because I said I didn't want any more Delta 17. Yeah, that could be it. He was probably lurking and he's like, screw that. I'm jumping on my own stream. No, I think he just Actually, he's normally not home at this time, which is why he's actually gonna be on the stream next week, um, to talk about Delta 17. So, yeah, I don't know. That's weird. He knows what time I do my videos. So I should take it personally, shouldn't I? Quip is here. Yep. Let's see. Thanos pre-ordered those pandas. Nice, nice. Those are great looking figures. Um, Everyone is streaming today, so StreamYard is having issues. Okay, that makes sense. StreamYard, it probably has server issues because they have too much traffic. That makes sense. Shame on them. But whatever. Okay, I'm caught up in the chat. So let me talk about the Poxus wave of Mythic Legions. And as I've done, I'm gonna try to share the screen. And if I can't, that's fine. Because what I can do is copy this, paste it in here, and you guys can all go to the link if you want, or don't if you don't want to, and check out what I'm looking at. I am looking at the wave release of the Four Horsemen Mythic Legions Poxus wave. This is easily the wave that I've been most excited about. This is apart from the game wave where we got Elf Legion builders to customize and have a ton of fun with, which I bought a bunch of. This wave is really something that I'm excited about. You get the wizards, you get the dragon, you get the ogre scale dragon, not a full size dragon. But we get the brute scale orc. So just really, really great figures. I'm really excited for Arakagor, the giant blue ogre scale dragon. Poxus and Flogus, the horseman of death and his sort of zombie horse. And then, some wizards, right? So Samir Scrollwarder, Thrace, Wraithhaler, Zende, Amanthir, really, really exciting. And the fact that we're getting brute scale figures. So, anytime we get a new sized buck in the line, it's exciting because you get a little bit more variety. And so Tharnog is one that I'm really, really looking forward to as well. Quip says GDL is about to stream about Ghostbusters, so going to swing over there since busting makes me feel good. All right, my man. Catch it on the replay. That's cool. I'm not going to be going too much longer either. I've only got a couple more things to share because I don't have visuals. It kind of, yeah, it's not that exciting anyway. The good news is I'm going to be talking about all this stuff anyway in the future because this is all 2024 stuff. So, it's all good. I get it. Visually, this is not that fun. GameQuest says I've got at least half of the Poxus Wave pre-ordered. For now, I am definitely over half of the Poxus Wave, and definitely the items that I either don't have in my order or don't have multiples of in my order. I'm definitely looking at. As we get closer and closer to release date, I'm very seriously considering the holes in my order, so to speak. So we'll see. But I'm really excited about this because like Samir Scrollwarder is kind of he's the Gandalf, right? So because the Lord of the Rings doesn't really have a great toy line, and because I don't necessarily need the Lord of the Rings characters, but I mean we got the Elf Ranger to represent Legolas. I think Dubon is a good Ranger type figure. Samir is going to be my sort of token wizard type character. No hobbits yet, but we do have dwarves and stuff like that. So Dazzletron's Diorama Llama, only looking at Cosmics at the moment, but the wave looks fabulous. The wave does look fabulous. I'm avoiding Cosmics because I'm doing this. I just can't do both. I just don't have the space for both. My Mythic Legion shelf is already pretty full. And I've got multiple waves on pre-order still. So Cosmic for now is just gonna have to take a back seat to some other sci-fi stuff. GameQuest says those soft goods, yeah, that's a big part of it. The Poxus line was sort of the first solid wave where you get like hooded capes, way more soft goods than we've seen in previous waves, way more wired soft goods than we've seen in previous waves. So I'm really excited for the Poxus wave. As I said, specifically for the Poxus wave, because there's a couple things too, like a 2.0 hand pack. The magic effects are going to be really fun. I bought the heroic and the evil magic effects to add to figures that I already have, right? I've been using some of the like Marvel Legions, energy effects as like magic effects for characters like Balaam and some of the other characters that in my head canon are magic users, as well as for AWOC stuff. But this thing I think is gonna give us some upgrades as far as magic effects go as well. Kirby Smith says the next few waves of Mythic Legion are pretty light for me. No goblins. I'll get some reinforcements like Silverhorn Sentry. Lock, yeah, I got a couple. They are awesome. And yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but like in my Mythic Legion's headcanon, there's Xylona's Flock, and any other good guy is sort of welcome in there, and then everybody else is the bad guys, and it's sort of like Arethyr and everybody is sort of just maybe the vampires, maybe Alithia's brood sort of gets their own thing. But by and large, it's Xylona's Flock versus everybody else. So let's see. People chatting about some Lord of the Rings figures. Thanos ordered only 4. Poxus, Arakagor, Azahazar, and Phlogius. It kind of feels like he looks when you say it. It's phlegmy and it's gross and it's slimy. Phlogius. Adjacent to Mythic Legions, I guess, or maybe more adjacent to Cosmic Legions, is going to be this line, and I am going to copy this and paste this into the chat because I can't share. Why won't it even let me paste it in? Oh my goodness. Now it's really driving me crazy. There it is. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. Is it going to let me post this? Use StreamYard. Okay, wait. There's that. That's that. This is just giving me a spinning wheel. It won't even post my comment. It won't even post the link. I can't show you the visuals, and I can't even share the visuals. There it is. Okay. Meta Traveler's legendary action figure line is super fun. The Kickstarter is done. The backer kit, I think, is closed for Kickstarter backers. I think the backer kit might be open now or opening soon to get your orders in. I think you can order Meta Travelers from a couple other places. But the Meta Travelers figures look awesome. I think they're a ton of fun. They're not to everybody's tastes. They do have sort of a comic book cartoony feel. And I'm only picking up a couple. I'm not all in on these guys yet. But I did pick up Meld Master and Quick Jack. My quick pickup, I'm in pre-order. I believe these are scheduled to be a 2024 release, which is why I'm including them. But even if they're not, even if these get sort of a 2025 release, it's definitely something that's going to be on my radar all through 2024. And I say Mythic adjacent because the sculpts were designed by the Four Horsemen. So let's see. Let me see if it'll let me share some comments. Dazatron's Diorama Llama, the Neon Meta Traveler looks cool. That is Quick Jack. That is an awesome looking figure. I'm very excited for. And Kayla Silver says the Translucent King of the Dead is Chef's Kiss. Translucent King of the Dead. I don't know what is that a Meta Travelers one or am I missing? Is that in a different line? Is that part of the conversation that I'm not part of in the chat there? Game Quest said the Xylonian Guard is my Mythic Legion figure of the year with Duvan a very close second. Glad to be among Xylonian fans. Xylonian Guard was my number one for Mythic Legions, and I think it was number 6 in my top 10 for the year. No, Weta Mini Epics. Yeah, okay, good. Because I was like, wait, what Translucent King of the Dead? Jay says, does the Balam head look sick on the Valiant Knight body? It looks a bit odd. My complaint about that Valiant Knight body is that to make it have better articulation, it's kind of skinnier. And it's a weird, like 2.0 heads look a little bit too small and 1.0 heads look a little bit too big, if that makes sense. With soft goods on, perfect. So if you want to throw a cape or a cloak or something over top of the body, it definitely works really, really well. And I don't think many people mention this, but the Valiant Knight has a port in the back for a tail, which I think a lot of people just sort of overlooked because they're not like obsessed with the cats and the things like I am. So, but the Valiant Knight's still a really, really cool figure, and I'm excited to get more figures that use that body and then get soft goods over them because, like I said, I think proportionally it'll look better. Yes, indeed, Thanos Copter. Mythic Legions figures that have that, they call it the boom boom hull. Heat the hole, not the tail. Tyler Lalonde says I'll be getting the genie and 2 wizards. I can only imagine he's talking about Mythic Legion still. It might be a little bit behind on the live stream there. Or the comments are coming through slowly today because of StreamYard's lack of bandwidth that apparently is slowing things down. So, all right, Meta Travelers, like I said, the comic book, I'm really excited for the comic book. As many of you know, the AWOC really got me because of the lore, because of the comic book. Cyberzoic really grabbed me because of a post that they did. Tyler, yes, I was behind. Well, glad you're here with us in real time now, Tyler. The Meta Travelers is gonna have a comic book. I just want the comic book now. It's probably for the best that I haven't seen the comic book yet, because I'm happy with the 2 figures that I've got. But if they drop some really good lore, I might have to go back and add to my order. Thanos Copter, did you see the wizard robes for Plunderlings from CJ Jessam? Yes, I did. And I really want them. But that stuff adds up quick. So I didn't even go to the website. I don't want to know how much it costs or how much it costs to get it to me. If he has them at Legions Con 2024, I may pick them up if I end up there. They look fantastic. CJ released that Plunderlings wizard cape, and there was one other thing that I saw in the last few days that was just like, his stuff is so good and well worth the money. It's just, like I said, it adds up so quickly, and it just, I don't know where I would start, and I don't know where I would be able to stop. So I can't collect all the things. Allison Troy says StreamYard is all like, new year, new me. By the way, you don't need to read comment that fast, right? Or share screens, or if I had a guest, it would probably be terrible too. So I'm glad that I am just flying solo today and doing my own thing, because I think that's probably for the best given all the technical difficulties that I've had. Wait for it. There it is. GameQuest says have 6 Meta Travelers pre-ordered at Big Bad Toy Store involving 4 horsemen was a death knell for my wallet. Yeah. And Ray Pass says Backer Kit is done. Yeah, Backer Kit is done for Meta Travelers. But is the backer kit the backer kit was just for Kickstarter backers, right? Have they opened it up to other people yet? Anyway, you can order them other places. And I would recommend it because the samples that I saw at Legion's Con, those things look fantastic. The figures, like the paint apps and just like in person, in hand, seeing them, very nice. I am going to do this, do this. See if StreamYard's up for it. See if StreamYard wants to play along. I'll post this first, and then I'll do what I've been doing, and I'll try one more time to share my screen, and it won't work, but I've got far fewer pages, and I got far less stuff going on, so maybe, just maybe. Come on, StreamYard. Don't do me dirty. Okay. Anyways, not, it's not going to work for me. All right, Jay says, any new toy lines you will be getting this year? Yes, Meta Travelers, but as I said, I'm not going too deep on those. And the other big one is the Cyberzoic stuff. And Cyberzoic, I reached out to these guys this morning, actually, to sort of see what we were looking at time-wise, and they make it in for 2024. They have an estimated release date at the moment for Wave A. I think they've sort of set it up as Wave A being well, here, let me look at it. And Wave A is the first dragon, the Allosaurus, the Smilodon, the Aquilabator. So two dinos, a dragon, and a mammal, as well as the riders that go with those, should be November. That's the ETA that they currently have now. November is tough. It may not be till December or January, but as they stand right now, everything's on track for a November release for the first wave of Cyberzoic. Tristan said really wanted to go in on Cyberzoic, but the prices were a bit too high for me. Fair enough. And it's a new line too, right? So it's kind of one of those things where if I hadn't been baited and switched into it by Brick, I might not have given it a second look. But they're amazing. Like I've seen the samples in person, and they look even better in person. It's crazy. Jay says Smilodon would be the one I would get. It looks great. You want me to add one to my order, Jay? Let me know. Because I can certainly do that. Ray Paz, I couldn't get into the biblical figures either. Where did I miss that? I did at D13. I've got the translucent Jesus on order. Oh, there. Jay said dinosaur dudes don't do anything for me. Same with Jesus figures. Those are gross. Oh, and do you mean dinosaur dudes, the armies of Ashmore? I totally forgot about that. Those are going to be 2024 as well. I've got a couple of those on order. Jay says, I'm down like a circus clown. All right, let's make it happen. I'll reach out to you after. Game Quest says Cyberzoic just couldn't invest in the smaller scale much as I'd love to. Yeah, that would. I mean, I looked at it. I looked at it, and they've talked about how they might do 6-inch scale stuff too. And I was like, look, if they do 6-inch scale, these dinos are going to be way out of hand. And I'm not a 1/18th collector, so this is like now I'm like looking at other 1/18th lines, and I'm like, maybe I'll get it. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna stick to the Cyberzoic stuff, and I'll leave it at that. Because to me, this is like the evolved Dino Riders. This is something that scratches an itch for me. And I'm just really excited by these. I can't sort of pinpoint why or what it is. It's just it's Dino Riders meets Dinotopia meets Blade Runner is what I keep saying, and I love all of those things and have for such a long time that this is a toy line that even though it's not in the scale that I collect, um, I'm in. I am in. And again, they don't have a comic book yet, but I've read some of the lore, and a lot of what they're doing, um, lore wise, is very very exciting to me. So I'm pretty excited. Um, let's see. Uh, Come on, StreamYard, show the comment that I wanted. Let me take a sip while I'm waiting. Good day for a Guinness, I suppose. Okay, I'm trying to show Tyler's comment. Tyler says, "I'll be getting the Ark of the Covenant." Yeah, that's cool. I mean, for dials and stuff like that, I think it's a cool set, cool thing that they've got on offer. Star says, "Somebody help me! I want a new sci-fi line that fries my brain." Void hasn't released yet. I already have all the SH figure art Star Wars. Why not? Why not just enjoy what you have? Why not take a little bit of extra time and sort of repose your figures, set them back on the shelf, set a new display, build a dio, go buy some foam and sort of have some fun that way. I got into dio building because there was like during the pandemic when there was sort of like a lag between like when things were available and when you could actually get them, and sometimes you couldn't get them at all. I just started building stuff out of foam because you could still get foam at Home Depot and paint at Michael's and have some fun. So, and it added some sort of depth to my collection and to my collecting. And it's been fun. And that's what sort of fills the time between waves of action figures and stuff like that. So Ray Paz went deep on Cyberzoic and Legendary. Also back to Odious. Jay says Odious looks cool. Jay, I don't know if you backed that or not, but I thought that would have been right up your alley. Ray Pass says I will be backing AWalk next Kickstarter too. That is my last sort of big thing for 2024. My last thing that I'm very very excited about. Um, so wave 3, for anybody that didn't get it, should start shipping now. I mean, they're sort of in the warehouse this week. They're going to be processing a bunch of orders, getting that stuff out. Or starting to get that stuff out because there's it's sort of trickling in. But and then wave 4 will be 2024 as well. And then of course in March we will be getting the next Kickstarter, which I keep saying this and I genuinely believe this. Like, I don't think there's going to be any figures that people are going to be able to pass. I think all the figures are absolutely amazing figures. And they are, for the most part, characters, lore wise, they're important characters. We've got, Mala and Jadu. We've got Hannibal. We've got a big honking Hulk Buster, Kali. You got the rabbit, you got the fox. Now we haven't seen the fox in the comic books yet, but we will, and he's cool. So yeah, AWalk stuff is, I mean, obviously something that I'm very, very excited for. Um, as my favorite toy line, my favorite number 1 and number 5, I think in my top 10 were AWalk figures. Pale is my pocket figure, so to speak. It goes everywhere with me. Goes on family vacations. He goes on wine tours. He goes out to dinner. And then I got this guy on my desk all the time. My Zen master, who just sits there patiently. And yeah, I don't know what to say. The Void's coming out too. Like Star mentioned, the Void will be out in 2024. The Void should ship, fingers crossed, with the Wave 4 stuff. So we're talking, within the next, probably the first half of 2024. Probably. But we'll see. GameQuest says, "I agree completely. It's Dino Riders. I just have to be strong. Glad for y'all." Well, I mean, GameQuest, if you're doing 6-inch scale stuff, I think their intentions are to do at least some of the figures and a couple beasts in 6-inch scale. Eventually, it just didn't fit now. It didn't fit in the time frame for Cyberzoic 1. It may fit as like a separate thing going forward. I've kind of chatted with them a little bit about that, and it just didn't fit this round, but it may be. They've designed and printed samples of figures in 6-inch scale. They did um I don't know which characters they were now. Now I can't remember. I was gonna say Kilara and Argentius, but I think it's Argentius and Dragolina, maybe. I can't remember. They were gray. They were just like a 3D printed type of sample, so I can't remember exactly which ones they were. But like I said, they have people sculpting them. They're sort of actively considering, how to fit that in. Just didn't work this time around. So Kirsten says, I have a couple creative Beast dinos from Beasts of the Mesozoic. The figures themselves are top notch. Absolutely. They are fantastic. Tristan, you will probably be able to get armor for the dinos that you currently have at some point going forward. So that's good news. The barrier for entry, if you've already got the dinos, is relatively low because the armor sets aren't terribly expensive. Um, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Um, let's see. Where did it go? Payne's Toy Samples is here. Hello, Payne's. I still feel guilty that I missed you that one time. I thought you weren't hanging out watching the stream. Hope you're having a great day. Hope your year has kicked off right. Um, saying Happy New Year to everybody. Ray Paz, the Fox is what I want. Yep, I'm very, very excited for the Fox. And as somebody who has seen the Fox, I can assure you it is magnificent. Um, let's see. Yeah, and GameQuest says not planning on passing on any of the AWOC offerings. Like seriously, like even the stretch goals where certain things still haven't been announced. There's certain figures that may make it in that are are so good. Um Game Quest Pale is my favorite action figure of 2023. Him and Blight, if I can cheat. Well, they're pretty close to the same figure, right? Just different colors. So, Jay, need to write Adam under his foot. I should do that. That's actually a really good idea, and I'm actually gonna do that. Um, Pale goes into adventures with Chuckles, looking for trouble to find their way back to Adam's shelves. Actually, Pale and Goyle go on adventures. They're a perfect match. They're I have a little fanny pack that they actually go in. They have their own travel accommodations. Um, Star says I can't get over how great the quality is on these AWOC figures. Never saw that coming from a toy line that's like brand new, right? Like it's kind of surprising that just like straight out of the gate they were able to just like bang everybody over the head with the quality of those figures. I just realized that I can switch to this screen because I don't have any more visuals. That's it. That's all I want to talk about. So now I can sort of look more towards the camera. I'm gonna close that. Now I'm just using one screen, so maybe I didn't need two after all. Um, but yeah, we're at one. We're about 120. We'll go a few more minutes. I'll try to catch up on the chat. I'll chat with you guys, answer any questions. What are you guys most excited for in 2024? Is there a figure? Is there a line? Is there a playset? Is there a Kickstarter? Is it like, am I missing something that I shouldn't be? Is there something that you guys think that I would be interested in? No, I shouldn't ask that. Don't give me suggestions. Um, let's see. Let's see. Paint Soy Samples says, "I got 4 figures that I can customize now, gonna go hard," and they're yeah, cool, cool. And, if you aren't already, go follow Payne's Toy Samples channel on YouTube, for some toy therapy on Fridays, and then, some customizing stuff, and, yeah, Instagram as well, I believe, so oh, yeah, absolutely, Ray. The Bushido line from Spiro Toys. The Bushido line is gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be small waves. This is, or at least this is the plan. The plan for the Bushido line, is that it's basically gonna be 2 figures per wave. It's gonna be a human and an other, most of which will be demons and stuff, like the Oni. So you get like a samurai and an Oni, and you know quarterly release kind of thing, or a couple times a year, and then you'll just slowly build that collection out, which I think makes perfect sense. Like having having big waves that kind of just drop on people is cool. But I actually really like the idea of having very manageable waves at a very manageable speed throughout the year, where you're also, you're like microdosing too, because you get a couple figures and you can like spend time with them and like hang out with them and get to know them. And then the next ones come, right when the high of the last ones is sort of uh, you know, dissipating or whatever. So I think it's a really, really cool way to do it. Um, and if all goes according to plan, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom will effectively have like a quarterly release as well. So, Ray, is the fox shorter than the other figures? Not really. It's on the Speedster buck. It's a slightly slimmer buck, and it's a little bit shorter, but not much. Um, there will be more bucks in the future as well. Stay tuned. There may be, new when the Kickstarter goes up. There may be more news about more new bucks and so on and so forth. But just wait for that. I'm not at liberty yet to share that information with you guys. So, um, Star said I can see some awesome customs coming, turning AWOC figures into Star Fox characters. Yep. And there's a bunch of the creatures in Star Fox, a bunch of the animals that will be represented in AWOC. Not like the species, I mean, not the characters. But Dazatron's Diorama Llama says it's getting late here in the UK. Great seeing what people are excited for in 2024. Happy New Year. Hope to catch you again soon. Thank you, Daz. Yeah, we're just winding up anyway. So we will hopefully see you again next time or sometime soon. Jay says Snag has traveled with me a couple times. Star says, see you next time, Daz. Take care. Roberto Morales, absolutely. I totally forgot about that. Savage Crucible's first wave, the Lemurians, should be releasing very, very soon. I think initially it was scheduled for like October, November of 2023, but it's got pushed to the first quarter of 2024. I think they're saying February now. So those should be in hand very, very soon. Thanos Copter says, looking forward to hopefully having all 4 horsemen this year. You're absolutely right. We already have 2 in hand, and Poxus is on the water on its way now, and then Necronominus is scheduled for like late 2024, I think. So you're absolutely right. I'm excited for that as well. I'm less excited for Necronominus, which is why I sort of mentioned Poxus specifically instead of all of the Mythic Legions that are coming. Tristan says, Classified and Transformers got me covered for 2024 for now. That's a solid base, man. That's the thing, is like, those are 2 lines too, where there's going to be plenty of releases. So I can understand not wanting to get into another line and not really needing to get into another line if those are your main 2. Nolan says, looking forward to issue 5 for AWOC. You and everybody else, man. I'm chomping at the bit to get issue 5. I talked to Jason a little bit about it recently. It may be a while before you get issue 5, and that's because the comic book will be sort of relaunching through Diamond distribution for sort of international, comic book shop distribution. And issue 1 is like relaunching, they're reprinting it And so Jason's not sure what to do with issue 5. Issue 5 is basically ready to go. It's just he's thinking he's probably going to wait until, like they get 1 through 4 re-released and then release issue 5, which is a bummer for us that have already read issue 4 and we're here, from the jump. Um, but we'll see. I mean, we'll get it in 2024. But dang, I don't want to wait anymore. Thanos also excited for the AWOC Kickstarter and the release of the Figma God Hand figures. Okay, sure. Yeah, cool, for sure. Bushido line link, no link yet. Just prototype stuff. Just exciting stuff coming in the future. Derek Chandler is here. What's going on, Derek? We're just about to wrap up, and we're talking about AWOC Kickstarter and what's coming in 2024. So we're pretty excited about that. Jay saying Mutton Junkyard is high up for me. The Sasquatch from Monster Force and still looking for the Snake Mountain playset. Ray Paz excited for more Joes. Action Force. Metacom, Mafex, Batman, Hush figures, and Superman Death of figures. Those Superman Death of figures are really, really cool. I would get, I would get the Superman, and then that would be it. And then it's like, okay, well, what would I do with them? I don't know, so I didn't get them. Also keeping an eye for other Mafex products. I pre-ordered Indie from Mezco, Fure, Haya Joe 118. Those Haya 118 Joes are pretty cool. And they would fit in scale with Cyberzoic too. So but I also already have lots of 4-inch like modern G.I. Joe figures, so I don't know. We'll see. Because if I get the Haya Joes, then it kind of opens the door to the Haya Predators too. So, anyways, Game Quest, Mythic Cosmic Legions, AWOC, and Bushido. G.I. Joe Classified will continue to dominate in 24, no question. Loving the indies, me too. G.I. Joe Classified is really the only one that's sort of holding on as far as the big guys for me. Ray Paz Gargoyles as well. Yeah. How many more Gargoyles are left for them to release? There's not much, is there? Derek saying Savage Crucible is going to crush it. Yeah, those figures look really, really cool. Thanos put out the digital. We may not get digital for quite some time. Tyler says, I got the Griffin from D20. Yes. And the white Veteran Williams pre-ordered. Nice. That Griffin is really, really cool. But an absolute shelf killer space-wise. I think I'm torn because I think that would be a great mount for Mythic Legions, but I could see Mythic Legions doing a Griffin, and so I've sort of held off on that for now at least. Yeah. Let's see. Jay says I think I might start a Dragon Ball collection. I know you won't. I know that you absolutely won't. Derek, I'm super excited for Monster Force. Yeah, again, if space and money weren't an issue, Payne's Toy Samples, I might very well get into that Monster Force stuff. But space and money are issues, so I'm keeping that one as like a viewing only line, at least for now. Red 5 says more Batman with McFarlane. Well, good news. I think you're going to get it. Wesley K says AWOC, Savage Crucible, and most of all, Cyberzoic are what I'm excited for. Yeah, I mean, AWOC and Cyberzoic are my two for sure. And they're admittedly like, they're top shelf and everything else is sort of down here, which doesn't mean like I'm not excited for all that other stuff. It's just the two things that are like banging me over the head right now are AWOC and Cyberzoic. So, Tyler, I need an elephant mount, preferably the forest elephant from North Africa. I want a big old African elephant it would be massive though, wouldn't it, as a mount? for that scale, holy. You could build a coffee table to store it in, I guess. Paint Soy Sample is gonna have to make some hard choices in 2024. Mhm, mhm. So excited to share what we've got coming in 2024. Gonna blow some minds. Um, Jay says, I almost paid you to remove trunks from your top 10. I don't know that you could have paid me enough because that figure is really, really fun and really cool. And Star says, come on, there we go, StreamYard. I keep hoping that someone will take another stab at Mass Effect figures. It feels like it's one of those things where it's only a matter of time, right? I think everything is coming full circle, and there's so many brands making so many cool toys that whatever you're thinking of, somebody is probably thinking of. Um, it's I've worked in retail for so long that basically what I say to people is like, if you can think of a product that you would like to buy, there's probably somebody that has already figured out how to get it to you or is trying to get it to you. So Mass Effect, I think at some point would definitely show back up. Tyler says the forest elephant is the smallest. African elephants are the biggest. Yeah, I want an African elephant. That's what I want. I want the bigger ears, the bigger tusks, just bigger. I just want a huge elephant. Alberto Morales says Defenders of Eden is looking awesome. The more I peek at their samples, I've had those in hand, and they are really really nice. Those are great figures. Derek says Wave 4 this summer is what I'm really excited for. Red 5. Imagine Jada IDW Ninja Turtles. That would be, yeah, that would be something else. Game Quest, they better be thinking of visionaries. I'm sure somebody is. I'm sure somebody's trying to figure out how to get the license and like how to get it all sorted out. So, if Alien Legion movie happens, those would make great figures. Thanos, I have an elephant mount from the 80s scaled for 5.5 inch figure. That's close enough, I think, for most purposes, right? Right. If you're creative, you can make Milliwick a mount. Derek says Jada Street Fighter and Mega Man is getting a lot of my money. Great figures. I still haven't caved. I still haven't gone down that rabbit hole. Yet. Tyler says African elephants stand 4 meters. Yeah, I know. African elephant is my second favorite animal. So I would love to get every version of an elephant. But anyways, we're just over 90 minutes, which is what I sort of shoot for as the max threshold. It's been a blast. It's been fun hanging out with you guys and chatting. I'm really, really excited to get all these things in hand, to hear what you guys are getting in hand, all that stuff. As always, it's been a pleasure to have you guys along for the ride. Fun to chat with you guys. It makes it way more fun when I can interact with you, especially when I can't show visuals. When StreamYard is absolutely blowing it and doesn't want to do its part in terms of getting this to go according to plan. Yeah, it's been great. Thank you for joining me in the chat. If you're watching on the replay, I appreciate you as well. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, all that fun stuff. Looking forward to a lot of fun stuff in 2024, and I hope that you guys will be around to hang out and chat and join me for those episodes as well. Until next time, Happy New Year. Bye-bye.